This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
The king now weighs almost 300 pounds as he lies comatose on the bathroom floor. In recent years, Elvis overdosed twice, yet he continued taking pills, rationalizing that he was not a drug addict because he didn't purchase the drugs from street dealers. Instead, the narcotics were prescribed by his longtime personal physician, Dr. George Nicopolis. But Elvis Presley was indeed addicted. In the first 7 months of 1977, Dr. Nick prescribed more than 10,000 doses of sedatives, amphetamines, and other narcotics to the ailing singer. Truth be told, before his collapse, Elvis Presley was living in an almost constant state of inebriation. Divorced from his first wife, Priscilla, Presley lived with a tall brunette 20 years his junior named Ginger Alden. The couple resided in his mansion, Graceland, where he maintained a nocturnal lifestyle. The king purchased the 13-acre property for $102,500, $945,000 in today's dollars, in 1957, and decorated it in garish fashion, particularly the jungle room, where he famously shot out a television screen with a revolver because he was bored. For more than 2 decades, venturing outside during daylight had been a challenge for him. Presley's fame meant he was instantly recognized no matter where he went, so he slept all day and went out only after dark. This led to eccentricities, like a 10:30 p.m. visit to the dentist and a game of racquetball in his private court at 4 a.m. At 4:30, he sat at the piano singing gospel music, finally calling it a night at 5. As he did most every day, the king ingested a packet of pills in order to fall asleep. The pills did not work. At 7 a.m., he downed another packet. This was in addition to the codeine the dentist had given him the night before. At 8 a.m., Elvis Presley took a third packet of pills, this time a drug known as Valmid, used to treat insomnia. "I'm going into the bathroom to read," the singer, still unable to sleep, told Ginger Alden at 9:30. He grabbed a book off the nightstand, The Scientific Search for the Face of Jesus, and walked into the bathroom. He wore gold pajamas. "Don't fall asleep in there," Alden called after him, a subtle reminder that the king had done so in the past. He suffered from chronic constipation brought on by his drug use, and as a result, he spent hours in the bathroom. "I won't," said Presley, uttering his last words. Ginger Alden, to whom Elvis Presley had proposed but whom he never intended to marry, fell back asleep. She woke at 1:30 in the afternoon to find the space beside her in bed empty. Knowing that Elvis needed to catch a 7 p.m. private flight to Portland, Maine for a concert, Alden thought he must be awake somewhere in the house. She phoned her mother, got dressed, and put on makeup. Then, after Elvis still hadn't returned to the bedroom, she went to the bathroom and knocked on the door. There was no response. Slowly turning the knob, she pushed the door open and screamed. There, head on the floor, posterior in the air, lay an unresponsive Elvis. His gold pajama bottoms were down around his ankles, and his face lay in a pool of vomit. The singer's body was cold, and his tongue was clenched between his teeth, nearly bitten in two. Alden peeled back one of the king's eyelids, only to see a lifeless blue eye framed in blood. Ginger Alden screamed again. The lifeless body was rushed to Baptist Medical Center in Memphis, where Elvis Presley was pronounced dead shortly after 3 p.m. Newspaper reporters calling the emergency room to check on Elvis's status were instead directed to the morgue. News traveled fast. At 4 p.m., Vernon Presley, the singer's 61-year-old father, stood on the front steps of Graceland to address a crowd of journalists. He had been a steadfast presence in his boy's career and knew firsthand the source of the king's destruction. A devastating